What was that saying? Oh, that warning or whatever. We are now. Okay, I put an updated link on the board for anybody who was gone. So, all right. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what that was, but we're back. Yeah,
I just think the internet blinked.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Okay. It just makes no sense. I mean, it's stupid. It's going to put stress on everything. I don't know what the Iowa beat's like, but 3 games left in the regular season, you're going to start asking the quarterback and the running back and the wide receiver about points scored to save the OC's job. I mean,
No,
it's unnecessary distraction simply to placate some weird notion that you have about.
So the question is, would you have done this for any coach with a different last name?
No, you would have fired them.
Right.
Which everybody knew. I mean, that's what doesn't make sense is you knew.
So I'll go one further.
Sure.
Not that we're going to spend the whole day talking about Iowa, but why not? If they don't get 25 points a game, you out too? Is this it for are they attached at the hip? Been there a long time.
I mean, I highly doubt he has a ton of more time left.
Well,
I also wonder if Kentucky overpaid Stoops, knowing that in a year it might be a thing.
Well, Kentucky overpaid Stoops because they knew Iowa was looming. I think Auburn at least inquired, wanted to have a conversation. And Kentucky's probably smart enough to look at it and go, you know what? Could we do better than Mark Stoops? Probably. Could we do worse? Oh, yeah. Now, you do kind of wonder if Kentucky looks at it now and goes, you know what? We could get John Summerall in a year.
Yeah.
You want to go to Iowa?
Okay.
Head off.
Good luck with the corn.
Something tells me they could get John for less than $9 million.
I feel strongly about that.
I mean,
Stoops is like 8'6" this year.
Yeah, I'm guessing John would jump at 5.
Yeah. And it's a job he wants.
Sure. It's a good job.
He's loved there.
Yeah. Well, he played there. He's been an assistant there. Just had a hell of a year at Troy.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I mentioned the defense scoring points. They scored 24% of the team's touchdowns last season. If you'd like to put a number on that. 24%.
People do not fully appreciate how good they were defensively.
No, because they were so bad offensively, it cost them games, and they weren't in the conversation.
Yes.
But they were very good.
They were elite.
It was either scoring or total. They were the number 1 defense in the country. I don't know which stat.
And just had players everywhere. Very fundamentally sound. You had to drive the field against them. They didn't give up a lot of big plays. I mean, they ended up winning, 8 games? Think about that.
Did they go to the title game? Purdue did.
Purdue did. No,
yeah.
Because they lost to Purdue.
Okay.
But I think they won 8 games because they beat Kentucky in the bowl game. And, yeah, I get it was a cheap 8 wins. I get it. But still 8 wins. With that offense. I mean, holy cow. So the people there that are like, God, if they'd just been an average offense, they would have won their division in the Big Ten. They probably would have won 10 games. I get it. Just by being functional on offense, they would have won 2 or 3 more games.
Well, because the thing about that is you also help your defense, and this is like a 101 thing, but the defense was on the field so much because the offense sucked. If the offense could have just held the football, suddenly fewer possessions, fewer points allowed, it's all symbiotic. It plays in together. A few props for you. Super Bowl Sunday, there is a game, 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs, Eagles.
Sure. It's exciting.
You want to bet on what color Gatorade is going to douse the winning coach?
Would
you bet on that?
Someone told me that is predetermined, that someone at Gatorade knows the answer.
So you think there's insider trading?
Could be. I'll go with they won't do red because what if the Eagles won? So I'll go.
But would they do red in the Chiefs coolers, but not the Eagles coolers?
I mean, I guess they could. I'll go green.
Well, red and pink is the betting is an underdog that some people are jumping on, and there is actually people jumping on this. It's plus 500.
Okay.
For that.
The color of Gatorade bath.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Looking at Super Bowl Gatorade history, the last two have been blue. The Chiefs were orange in 2020. Patriots blue, Eagles yellow, green. It is a little color coordinated over the years to some extent. Saints were orange, Packers were orange. The Ravens in 13, none. There wasn't one.
Oh.
Giants were purple in 12. Clear from 2005 to 2008. Pats none in 02. Yellow green plus 275. Orange plus 300. Blue plus 375. Red pink plus 500. Clear or water plus 600. I do think it will be Gatorade. I do not think it will be clear or water. I think that's
I'll go green.
I mean, look, it has happened twice. Now, I think it's too much of a thing to have this happen. If you're just throwing a 10 spot on something, you throw a 10 spot on no Gatorade is poured at plus 1,400.
Okay.
Because it has happened.
Yeah.
So you go, you know what? Something weird's at the end, and that's not a thing.
Or maybe it's like a last second thing, and
yeah,
there's nobody even ready.
Pandemonium, and
nobody's there to get the Gatorade.
I think that's the move.
Okay.
I mean, it's yellow green plus 275 because it is a little color coordinated, and that is you're getting yellow and green with Eagles and Chiefs. So that's
okay.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Not that we need to break that down anymore.
Austin says, real quick, super chat, does Patrick Willis get his gold jacket on Thursday? Is this Thursday when they announce Hall of Fame?
I was unaware of that. It felt like he was probably getting in, just reading analysts and whatnot. It's a tough group, but he's not getting the longevity held against him the way it happens to other people.
Right.
It does not appear.
He's probably on the cutting edge of that no longer counting against guys because the game is so violent and more people are walking away when they still have their health and their faculties.
I know it's across different sports, but is Andrew Jones in the Hall of Fame? Had he just quit at the end of his prime?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
The bad years.
But because his body deteriorated, yeah.
Chris Stapleton's national anthem, the over-under is right around 2 minutes exactly right now.
Shoo, that's going to be really close.
The last four anthems have been 151, 149, 201, and 2 minutes. Typically, I would always bet under because nervous people talk faster.
Stapleton doesn't strike me as the type to get nervous.
No, and 2 minutes is still not a overly long anthem. Like, he could draw it out a little. Like, that would be at least the contemplating of an over there.
He feels like the type, though, that's not going to make that anthem about him. He's going to make the anthem about the anthem. So I think he'll go...
The people that add the extra bars and do the whole deal.
I think he'll go under.
Since 1990, 14 singers have gone 2 minutes or longer. But the recent trend has been even longer than that. 8 of the last 10 singers reached the 2 minute mark.
I'd have to think about who those singers were.
Yeah. I mean,
you a Stapleton guy? You a country?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I like him. I like some of his stuff a lot. Some of his stuff is just way too twangy for me.
So the last 5 years, 6 years, it's 5 years. It's 3 unders and 2 overs. Last year, the betting line was 139, and it went 151. 2 years ago, 155 was betting line. It went 149. Year before that, 147 betting line, 201 actual.
Oh, they knocked that out.
And then why do you get under here? Pink in 2018, the line was 2 minutes. It went 2 minutes. Unders cashed.
So she pushed.
That's a push.
Yeah.
That's not a win. Or do they go to like that? I don't know. But it says under cashed.
She's really talented. Pink. She's good.
Lady Gaga in 16, they knew she was going to take a minute, and she took it 222 on a betting line.
Oh.
And it went over.
Yeah.
The longest since they've been tracking this, and then I'll get off this. I know it's not overly compelling. Is 236 Alicia Keys in 2013.
236.
236.
That's, by God, the camera's on me, and I'm going to have my minute.
The shortest.
What was Whitney Houston's, the famous one? Does it say?
There was no betting line. She went 156.
Okay.
And if Whitney wanted to take 2.5, go ahead. Feel free. But she just did it.
The only reason I know about this is because I just watched the Redeem Team documentary.
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye's rendition, I think it was at an NBA Finals game or an NBA All-Star game.
Okay.
Was kind of the one that got the 2008 Olympic team all jazzed up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was really interesting, all the things Krzyzewski did to make it about the country and not about the Lakers or the Cavs or the Celtics or whatever. It was. You walk away with a different appreciation of Mike Krzyzewski after that.
That is, I haven't seen that.
It was really good.
It's worth watching.
Yeah, it was really, really good. It, if you're a Kobe Bryant fan, and I am, it was cool. I mean, you get to see a side of Kobe that even the NBA guys were like, they didn't know that side of him existed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he and LeBron, because LeBron was still fairly young, but LeBron was the best player in the league, and everybody knew it. But Kobe had just won titles, and they'd gotten beat. And then in 2006, they got beat in the World Championships,
right,
with LeBron.
I do recall that.
And so they brought Kobe in, and everybody looked at him like in 2007, like, okay, what's this going to be like? Because he was super aloof, like he had no friends in the league, and suddenly he was just this total team player.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting.
It's worth watching then.
The final against Spain. I now want to go find that game and just watch it.
Yeah,
because Spain played their asses off. Wouldn't go away. Like the Americans played really well, and that was Marc Gasol, Pau Gasol.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
those were good. Fernandez. Those were good players, and they gave the Dream Team or the Redeem Team all it wanted.
What was the final?
I think it was a 9 or 10 point game, but it was 2-3 points late.
Yeah.
Carmelo hit shots. Kobe hit shots. Dwayne Wade went off. I mean, those were dudes.
And it took all of
people forget how good Pau Gasol was.
They carried them. Spain was legitimate internationally for years.
Yeah. I mean, Pau Gasol was a dude. And that Argentina team in 2004, I mean, they had players. Manu Ginobili was a freaking great player.
Yeah. Okay.
It was really well done.
I think you sold me.
It was really well done.
Yeah, I think you sold me. Wrapping this, the shortest national anthem since they've been tracking was 1990, the year before Whitney Houston, 125.
Oh.
Got in, got out.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see at sporting events. Because I cover baseball. I hear a lot of anthems.
Yeah.
You're so excited when they do the instrumental version, when they don't have somebody that day, and it's the instrumental that's in and out in like a minute 10 or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
If you're gonna drag it out, you better have pipes. You better be really, really good.
This has been a decade, but the one guy I have felt the worst for, and I felt like I needed to crawl onto the table. It was an Ole Miss Miami Ohio game in like February or something, and he kept forgetting the words, and he started over like 4 times. Literally sat there and just kept starting over, and I'm going, okay, can we just stop?
Was it Doc Rivers who came out and helped the girl finish the song?
It was, yeah. Yeah, this dude would get like to a certain place and just blank out and then have to like stop and then try to pick it back up. It was very, very uncomfortable looking back. Podcast brought to you in part by Johnston Hill Creamery, johnstonhillcreamery.com. Still time for those Valentine's Day orders, a week away. Their pre-order menu is out. You can get by the dozen, the cannolis, the macaroons, the chocolate-covered strawberries, the brown butter chocolate chip cookies. They have artisanal gift boxes, dessert boxes, and king cakes. 24 hours notice for the king cakes. Lots of different flavors, including the blueberry cheesecake. That's their newest offering here for 2023. So celebrate Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday. Get your king cake. I saw on the thread people want to have it with coffee. That's the way to go. Johnston Hill Creamery, johnstonhillcreamery.com. Order right there online. Again, 24 hours notice for the king cakes.
With the temperatures dropping, we've entered prime sock season. Our friends over at Dead Soxy just announced their buy one, get one winter sale. Right now, when you buy 2 sock bundles, you get the second bundle 50% off, or get a free pair of socks with any single pair you purchase. To get the deal, just put any 2 bundles or any 2 pairs of socks in your cart and apply the code Rebel Grove. If you've got bundles in there, it will take 50% off the least expensive bundle. If you've got 2 pairs of socks in your cart, it will make the least expensive pair free. So head over to deadsoxy.com, stock up on this incredible winter sale, and as always, stay soxy. We're also brought to you by our friends at Game Changer Patch. They're the only two-patch system available in the market to stop hangovers before they start. The warm-up patch is used before or while you drink. The overtime patch used after you've been drinking to recover while you sleep. The all-natural ingredients will keep you in the game, ready for your next play. Go to GameChangerPatch.com. Promo code RebelGrove20 at checkout for 20% off your purchase. ACS is owned and operated by my friend Clay McNutt in Baldwin, Mississippi. ACS can service and install Rockwell Automation, Allen Bradley, Siemens, ABB, Square D, many other manufacturers. To learn more about them, get in touch with them at acsllcms.com or call 662-601-4381. Valentine's Day a week away. If jewelry is in your plans, I recommend Lammon's Fine Jewelry in Oxford. Lammon's at 1126 North Lamar Boulevard in Oxford. It's been serving the Oxford area for 3/4 of a century. Engagement rings, wedding rings, fine jewelry, watches, pearls, fashion jewelry, children's jewelry, collectibles, and more. Lammon's is the gold standard in fine jewelry. Visit them at lammonsfinejewelry.com or call them at 662-234-2777. Get in touch with our friends at Pinnacle today, and the Pinnacle 401k advisory services team will conduct a complimentary, no obligation benchmarking and analysis of your current 401k plan. It's mypinwealth.com, MYPINN wealth.com. And we're brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. If you are thinking about traveling, maybe you're planning spring break, it's getting closer. Maybe you're headed to someplace this summer, or you're already thinking about a holiday trip, get in touch with John. Let him create a special trip that makes a lifetime of unique memories. All you got to do is give him some parameters, give him a budget. He'll give you options you probably won't find on your own. And no, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387 or send him an email, jedwards@regencytravel.net.
Podcast also brought to you by Prime Shrimp, primeshrimp.com. 7 different flavors available for you. They ship directly to your door. If you're within 10 minutes from freezer to plate with Prime Shrimp, their newest offering, the New Orleans barbecue style, it's become my favorite, just outpacing the signature, which is a great versatile option that goes with everything: pasta, veggies, rice, or just make it a meal or a snack in and of itself. And now with code RG, you buy 5 packs or more, 5 pouches or more, and you get 25% off. So that's the new deal to all listeners, subscribers. 25% off, 5 packs or more with code RG with primeshrimp.com. You know, I swear to God, I'm getting off this now, but the national anthem singer almost kind of shows you where we are in our pop culture a little bit when you go down the list, because from 2012 back to 2008, it was all American Idol people except for Christina Aguilera in 2011.
Oh.
Just did a run of American Idol people. I mean, no, they'd been out for a while. Carrie Underwood in this group, Kelly Clarkson in this group. But when you look down the list, it was all TV show type personalities.
That show had a run now.
Oh, it's a run. Kelly Clarkson, by the way, by God, you knew what you were getting. They timed her betting line was 134, quick and out, and she went 134.
Okay.
Pushed at 134. It's exactly. Here's the deal with some of that is if you have a lot of tape on what they've done in the past, you're going to be able to get it inside 2-3 seconds, because they're not going. People like Kelly Clarkson are not going to change their.
Well, Vegas has watched.
Yeah, they have an idea of what.
I guarantee
they
you.
didn't just throw a number out there and go ahead. But then they went from there to, in 14 and 15, back to back, Renee Fleming and Idina Menzel. So we went theater for 2 years.
Okay.
Fleming, a soprano. It's been all sorts of stuff. Then Idina Menzel was in Wicked, and I think she might play the voice of Elsa. I think. But anyway,
beats me.
It would be more my area at this point than yours. But anyway, I don't know. I found that a little fascinating there. So actual game. Where are those at? Here we go. Find it. 1 second. First touchdown. McCole Hardman is the betting favorite by a lot at minus 101. Found that kind of interesting. He's because again, you have to run it in. Like Mahomes doesn't get credit for a pass. Kelsey plus 650, Hurts plus 800, Miles Sanders plus 800, and
what's AJ?
Pacheco plus 850. AJ's plus 1,000, and Jerick McKinnon's plus 1,100.
Okay. Wouldn't be a terrible flyer on AJ.
10-1.
Yeah. On like a fade route or something.
Yeah.
Or he breaks the tackle and gets loose.
Super Bowl MVP, Hardman, the favorite, minus 101.
I must be missing something.
Jalen Hurts plus 135, Mahomes plus 135, Kelsey plus 1,100, Brown plus 1,400, Devontae Smith plus 3,000, Miles Sanders plus 3,000.
I mean, your bargain money there is like Devontae Smith. Couple of touchdown catches.
The issue with the wide receiver is always the quarterback throwing the ball.
Yeah.
So they have to all go to him. It has to be this deal where...
To me, the odds of it not being Mahomes or Hurts
it's just
pretty
so low.
slim.
Yeah. Passing yards on Hurts, the over-under is 242.5.
Probably go over. I think he has a big day.
Yeah, I do too. Mahomes, 286.5.
He probably goes over. God knows they're going to protect him. If anybody happens to breathe on him, it's going to be a penalty.
Did you see Dilfer's take criticizing the current quarterbacks?
Yeah.
You agree with it?
I don't necessarily...
Said you can't reroute receivers. You can't throw over the middle. They don't get hit.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but I do understand what he's saying. And I mean, I do wonder, like, man, if you put guys like Elway and Marino, even Burt Jones from back in my day, guys who had cannons in today's offenses.
And basically let them play flag football.
They tear you apart. I mean, what would Roger Staubach do today? If you couldn't tackle Drew Pearson, the line of scrimmage, Tony Hill, Cunningham, those guys that he had.
Oh, they say Hardman's on IR. Why is he on this list then?
I have no idea. I'm completely checked out of this game.
I mean, I seriously am just staring at a BetMGM slip from The Athletic this morning.
I'm completely checked out on this game. Well, at least you know Hardman's a bad bet.
Don't put your money there.
Yeah, I'm.
That's weird. Okay.
I mean, my odds on how quickly will Neal McCready turn on the Super Bowl if like 740 is the over-under, I'm probably going over. Like I asked Laura yesterday, I said, what's at the theaters? What's available?
Stop.
What movies are out right now?
You're not going to the movie.
I don't know. Maybe. I hadn't been to a movie in a long time.
I want to get back into movies. I know movies are back out again and there's some decent stuff, but I just am so out of that thought process that I never even look or think about it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Campbell went to see Knock on the Door or whatever, and once she told me about it, I was like, I'm good. I now feel like I've seen the movie and I'm good.
So what do you want? Like, what kind of stuff do you want to see?
I don't know. I don't know what's out.
Okay. 80 for Brady. All the Old Women with Tom Brady is out today.
Probably not.
Tom Hanks is a man called Otto.
I've heard it's excellent.
Otto is a grump who's given up on life following the loss of his wife and wants to end it all. When a young family moves in nearby, he meets his match in quick-witted Marisol, leading to a friendship that will turn his world around.
I've heard it's really good. So okay, that's a possibility.
Avatar.
Nah,
I never saw the first one.
I never saw the first. It doesn't sound like my kind of thing.
Well, I think is that Spielberg or James Cameron, whichever one. The funny line was, it made billions of dollars and yet it's no one's favorite movie.
Yeah,
like he made a point of like no one goes, hey, whatever, but everybody saw it.
I mean, I've heard about it. It just doesn't sound like something I would like. I'm not criticizing it. It's fine. I'm sure lots of people clearly liked it because they made an absolute boatload of money. But
Black Panther sequel, but you're not into Marvel. You haven't gone down that route.
I've seen some of them, so it'd be okay. But I would have to catch up on the storylines probably. House
Party, which I'm assuming is a remake of the 1990 comedy from back in the day with Kid and Play. It was more our time.
Yeah.
Infinity Pool.
I don't even know what that is.
Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah, no thanks.
Megan. A robotics engineer at a toy company builds a lifelike doll that begins to take on a life of its own.
Oh.
Feels creepy looking at the
Feels
picture.
kind of weird. Yeah.
And Missing. From the minds behind Searching comes Missing, a thrilling roller coaster mystery that makes you wonder how well you know the closest to you when the mother disappears while on vacation in Colombia, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
That's at one of the theaters.
All right.
There's nothing there that seemed to captivate you.
I mean, A Man Called Otto might get it done.
That would be the only one, though.
Yeah. I bet the theater be empty as hell 5:30 on Sunday.
Are the same movies at both theaters?
Is the second place still open in Oxford?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess, right?
I don't know. I mean,
if it's not, I really am lost.
I've been to maybe 2 movies in the last 4 years.
The last couple movies I've seen, no, there's kids movies at the other theater.
Okay.
So there's Plane that has Gerard Butler and somebody else in it at the other theater. And then the 2 kids movies out right now are The Amazing Maurice, which appears to be a cat, and Puss in Boots, The Last Wish.
Oh, I remember one of those. That was pretty good back in the day when Carson was younger. I'm not going to lie. I used to like some of the animated movies and stuff we'd go see. I liked them more than the kids. Probably more my level, my speed.
Puss in Boots can take up your hour and a half.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Go grab some popcorn. Check that out for an hour. Head out. It's all good.
What's the last movie you saw in the theater?
Top Gun.
Yeah, me too. I watched it alone in one afternoon, and it was glorious.
Oh yeah, no,
it was fantastic.
I like going to the movies, and I need to do it more often. There's stuff that I just forget, and then you look up and you're like, I don't have time.
I told you I was really, really impressed when I went that day, and I talked about it on the podcast when I got back. There was some parents in there that clearly had brought their kids for them to see the movie, but the kids were engaged and were all in. I was like, that's kind of cool. Like watching the 10, 12-year-old be really into Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, sure. Well, I told you about the kids across the street. It was Top Gun summer. I mean, they were driving up and down on their bikes all summer long, singing Danger Zone.
If you haven't listened to this, because you would be fascinated enough in Top Gun to be of interest, and so would a lot of our listeners. I stumbled across it on YouTube, and I watched the video version of the podcast. I did not actually find the podcast, but there is a podcast. So the Jocko podcast, the Navy SEAL that now does tons of media, he had on, and it's Berke. I don't know if it's Burke or Berkey, but Dave Berkey, who's known as maybe the top fighter pilot of the last 25 years. He won Top Gun. He was a Top Gun instructor, had multiple deployments, and he assisted on making Top Gun Maverick realistic. And he did a podcast with him explaining a lot of things that they did in the movie and how real or not real and why they did certain things. It was pretty fascinating. It's about a 40-minute podcast.
It was pretty realistic.
It was good.
Considering that you had to Hollywood some stuff.
Well, yeah, of course. The people who are really, really critical of things they did, well, okay, it's not a 14-hour movie. So
yeah, it's not a documentary. It's a movie.
Yeah.
But
they really went up in the planes. They did enough stuff that made it. But he was pretty fascinating.
It was great. I mean, I was thoroughly entertained. That's what you want, right? I mean, the whole critical analysis of stuff.
Entertain me.
I judge it this way. I gave you 2 hours of my time. When I walk out, did I get to escape whatever reality is my reality? Did I get to just go into that world for 2 hours and come out entertained?
It's why you love the movies you love and why you make fun of me when I like the really critical, hard movie, because you're like, what are you doing? You're pissed off when you get out of there. You're upset or something. Like, go get your escape and then move back to your life.
That's me.
There's enough hard stuff without going to the movie to be falling apart when you walk out.
Yeah, if I'm walking out just in shambles,
because I've had some buddies like about certain movies go, no, like knowing anything I've been through in my life where it goes, nah, you can't watch that.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't go.
Yeah.
Which almost kind of makes me want to see it more, but then I have to be like,
no, I just don't. There's stuff I just don't want to see.
Yeah.
And so, but I don't mind like the tearjerker stuff. It can't be super dark.
Yeah.
The dark stuff, I have a hard enough time as it is.
You don't need Breaking Bad, the movie.
Well, I don't sleep well after stuff like that. And now that I've got my little Wara thing, I'm reminded each morning about how poorly I sleep. And so I don't need to like go tempt it.
As I move into the final break and a little bit of basketball to close, if you want to bet on Rihanna's song choice that she starts with during the halftime show, Don't Stop the Music, is plus 300. That is the the favorite there, going all the way
Is
down.
Is she the lone act, or are there multiple acts? Is it just her?
To my knowledge,
Okay.
it was. But you're potentially asking me questions that I could be wrong about. All the way down to Where Have You Been at plus 800. So you get about 6-7 songs in between 300 and 800. Outfit color is on here. And then potential guest is a betting option as well.
Because usually they have like people that pop up in addition to the main person.
So they think it's possible like Jay-Z comes out for Umbrella or something along those lines.
Okay.
It's sort of what it's.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's kind of where that is. So anyway, if you needed that information for whatever reason. Now
is there one halftime show that sticks out in your mind as like that kicked ass, or?
No, the one that sticks out the most is when the Saints were playing, because I just needed it over to get back into the game, where I was frustrated for about 45 minutes. That was the halftime. And, I mean, everybody talks about Prince and stuff. But
Prince was great.
Yeah, I mean, no, I the one that sticks out is the one I needed to end.
I was in here working Sunday, and they had the let's remember I didn't turn the TVs on.
Yes,
whatever, it doesn't matter. I had the Super Bowl marathon, Super Bowl highlight, boil each game down to 30 minutes. And Sean Payton, that game, from the opening kick, all he could talk about was onside kick, onside kick, onside kick.
Picking the time.
Make sure he told the refs, they talked about it. It's the last thing he talked to the ref about before the game started. Hey,
we're going to do this.
We're going to do it. It's a traditional onside kick. It's off to the side. Wanted to do it in the first half.
Picked the right time.
It worked out.
Stole possession.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Swung the game.
Oh, 100%.
Although the Colts came back after that and took the lead back.
Mm-hmm. But until that, it never felt like the Saints were winning.
Right.
I almost to myself, even the whole time, was going, hey, we're here. This is cool. You didn't get the winning until after that. And you went, oh, now it's.
It's so funny how revisionist history, we all do it. This isn't me criticizing anybody. We all do this. We look back on that game and go, yeah, Peyton wasn't very good. No, for 3+ quarters, Peyton was really damn good. I mean, like the Saints had no answer for Dallas Clark that day. Just no answer at all. And Peyton threw some balls in windows. You're like, whew, that's the MVP. There he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then they, jumped the slant.
Tracy Porter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was watching with David Brandt, and he actually had left just before that. And he got in his car and it turned on WWL in the car, because at night you can get WWL in Oxford. And as Porter catches it and running back in, David runs back in, and he's like yelling and grabbing and whatever, and he came back in the house. So it's probably the memory maybe I have more than any other thing from that Super Bowl. But, yeah, he's actually covering the Super Bowl this week.
I saw that.
In Arizona.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Saw that as well. But
come a long way.
First time I met David Brandt was at Saints training camp in Millsaps.
Yeah.
When I guess he had started work for the Clarion Ledger at the very beginning. So
yeah.
That's
I was at that training camp.
Yeah. So podcast brought to you by Northeast Spark, NESPARC, service people across rural communities. 2 packages, the Ignite, the 100 Mbps, or the Blaze, the 1 gig that powers the Clark Ford studio. Your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. That's nespark.com. 662-238-3159. Phone service, parental controls, network security, and much more. So to get the best internet in Lafayette County, also parts of Union and Pontotoc counties. For those who previously did not have internet, again, that's 662-238-3159.
If you're coming to town anytime soon, stop by Opa. It's the perfect place to enjoy a lunch, dinner, craft libations, and more. It's Oxford's newest Greek restaurant on the square. It's Opa. Check them out next time you're in Oxford. I'll have a mailbag up tomorrow. It's brought to you by Whitney McNutt of Tommy Morgan Incorporated Realtors, serving you for all of your real estate needs in Oxford and Tupelo. Whitney sells condos, land, commercial, and residential family homes. You can reach her at 662-567-2573 or 662-842-3844. We'll pick the Super Bowl later this week. That is brought to you on by Service Specialist Staffing and Recruiting Agency. If your company is looking to hire quality, hard-to-find talent, Service Specialists can help. Keep in mind that payment of service is solely contingent on if you decide to hire a candidate that they send. So you've got nothing to lose. So give Will, Sydney, or Kelsey a call, 662-832-5138, or check out their new and improved website, servicespecialistltd.com. Don't just accept what you see, but imagine something new. Step forward, chase after a better version of yourself. Every day, Corinth Dental is helping people reinvent themselves one smile at a time. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures, including Invisalign. These clear aligners are the virtually invisible way to improve your smile. So call Corinth Dental today. Get a no-cost digital scan of your teeth. Let them show you the way to a straighter, healthier smile. 12 months, no interest, no down payment. Financing is available at corinthdental.com. And we're brought to you by Southern Traditions Farm. It's a 68-acre, 32-stall upscale equestrian training and boarding facility in Canton, Mississippi. 2 sand rings, a grass ring, miles of wooded trails. So much offered at Southern Traditions. It's also a great place for events, parties, that kind of thing. So get in touch with the people at Southern Traditions on Facebook or Instagram at Southern Traditions Farm.
Podcast also brought to you by Style Assembly. Guys, Valentine's Day just around the corner. Get that special lady something she will love at Style Assembly Women's Boutique on the Square, offering clothes, shoes, purses, jewelry, sunglasses, and more. Women are all built the same, so they carry sizes ranging from extra small to 2XL. Also, know all budgets aren't built the same either, so they have a variety of price points. Ladies can create a wish list in the store or over the phone. It's left on file. Then guys can call or stop by, pick something off the list she's guaranteed to love. It's a win-win. Leave and wrap it up, have it waiting on you. They sell gift cards, take the guesswork out of buying. So if you're not in Oxford, no problem. They ship. Call or DM to place an order. That's 203 North Lamar next to Blind Pig, or call the store at 662-638-3163. Ask for Kate. She's the owner, and she will personally help you out. I assume Dallas in their last game without Kyrie Irving, they kind of surprised the Jazz last night, winning 124-111.
Did Luka play last night?
He did not.
They
won without him. Josh Green and Jaden Hardy each scored season-high points. Sorry, career-high points.
Trade deadline's Thursday.
They both had 29 last night.
The consensus is that Dallas will do something else.
Really?
To kind of bolster themselves defensively.
Oh, really? Yeah, those two guys had averaged 8-1 a night and 5-6 a night, and they both scored 29 last night to win without.
That's what it takes. Klay Thompson beat the Thunder again.
Did he?
He did.
You're used to that.
Yeah.
You've seen that. You've seen that movie.
I saw that nightmare once before.
Except this time you don't really care.
No, I can.
Last night did not matter. That was fine.
This is the greatest place for fandom, where if you win, you're like, this is awesome. We won. And if you lose, you're like, hey, it's better lottery odds.
You better get to losing.
Yeah, well, I mean, the question with the Thunder is if they finish 5th, 6th, or whatever in the lottery, can they trade up to 3rd? They have the assets to get up to 3. It's a matter of whether they want to. A lot of talk that the Thunder really want Brandon Miller, which I get it. I watch Alabama basketball almost every time they play just because of Brandon Miller.
Your games tonight, Ole Miss at Georgia, 6 o'clock, as we mentioned. They're from Stegman Coliseum. Auburn is at A&M tonight. It's a good game.
Oh.
At Reed Arena tonight in College Station. 6 o'clock tip for that one.
That's a really good game.
And then your 2 8 o'clock tips, South Carolina at Missouri.
Oof.
Missouri definitely has to avoid that landfall.
Got to win.
And then Arkansas at Kentucky at Rupp tonight at 8. So
Ooh,
Razorbacks and Wildcats at 8 tonight.
That's a game Arkansas could steal. Free shot, too. Now that they're back to 5-5, that's a free shot.
Nothing overly compelling for me tomorrow night on the Wednesday games. Tennessee at Vanderbilt, Florida at Alabama. And
that's
LSU.
A shot for Florida, though.
It is.
Big game for them.
And LSU at Mississippi State.
No.
I mean, State has to win.
State has to win.
Sure. We knew that anyway. So,
of course, if State wins, State kind of puts a few wins together. They start getting near that number where their net might let them sneak in. They'll be one of the teams that go into the tournament, could play meaningful games.
Alabama's at Auburn on Saturday.
They'll have their hands full.
And then State really gets an opportunity. They're in Bud Walton on Saturday. So
big shot for them.
Otherwise, it's some duds. The schedule has not been overly compelling.
Are you saying South Carolina and Ole Miss is a dud? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Are you saying that out loud?
I am, yes. A&M at LSU, not doing much for me. Like
no.
It's there's some Vanderbilt at Florida is not.
It's the Baby Dega 500 Saturday.
It is. I did see that.
Mm-hmm.
How many participants?
As many as they can get.
Really?
I don't know.
Is there?
Oh, that helps attendance.
They expect, coming full circle, they're expecting 50.4 million people to bet up to $16 billion on the Super Bowl. Those are your numbers.
Okay.
Just a heads up here. I posted a podcast this morning with Brett Basham, former Ole Miss catcher. We talk a lot of baseball, but frankly a lot of life. He lost his sister 2 years ago and how that's kind of impacted him. He's in leadership, personal growth, and development's kind of his occupation at this point. And it's on Apple, but I know we always link things on Spotify. Our Spotify is being really weird this morning. So the reason I'm telling you this is the Oxford Exxon Podcast or anything else we do later in the day or tomorrow could have the same situation. So if you're a Spotify person and you happen to have found this podcast or you're in our stream somewhere else, just be aware you might need to go to Apple. You might need to click a link. I don't know. I hope Spotify fixes itself, but it's been about 3 hours now and it's not up from this morning. So just heads up on that from what we typically do. It is not there. So I don't know. I'm not really sure what to tell you.
There's a debate in the thread about Valentine's Day. We've had this conversation before. We'll do it again over the next few days.
Yeah, we have time.
You're not a big Valentine's Day person either.
Well, no, and especially on the day of, because I don't like the preset menus and all that kind of stuff. If I'm picking a restaurant, I want to go to that restaurant and actually have the normal menu.
Yeah.
I don't need them to set the menu for me. I get why they do it, but it doesn't.
Yeah, no.
I'm out. That does nothing. No, it does nothing for me. You're better off going out on February 13th. The day before.
Yeah, of course.
And then let that.
Or the day after.
Yeah, whatever. Either way. Because I really want to try that restaurant. Well, hey, I tell you, the night I really want to go is when they were just putting the trout almondine on the menu, and that's your option.
Well, and I'm married to somebody that if I buy a dozen roses, her response is, do you know what all I could have bought with that? And so it's just not like a big thing. It's not even a matter of not being like romantic or whatever. It's just
got a lot of stuff going on.
There's just a lot of practicality.
Got a lot of stuff.
It's not a particularly pragmatic thing.
But if you're going to do that, use Johnson Hill Creamery again. The tons of options there from their menus. Just get a chocolate, dozen chocolate covered strawberries and some macaroons, and
there you go.
Call it a day. So, all right, back tomorrow here with you on the show. Got tons of things going on today, to talk about tomorrow. I don't know. We'll find something as always.
We're gonna break down this basketball game tonight.
Ole Miss, Georgia, 6:00 from Athens.
In the second 4-minute window, what really happened was.
Appreciate you guys, especially the ones that found us in the second stream. I don't know what happened there, but we're all good. It'll be normal in podcast form. Have a good day. Talk to you tomorrow.